During a speech this week, Republican Representative Madison Cawthorn laid out his plan for what Republicans are going to do if they regain a majority in the House of Representatives. And to be honest, it's quite terrifying. So here he is, in his own words, explaining what Republicans are going to do if they take back the House. Here it is.
I believe that the battle we will fight for the rest of our lives is against the Chinese Communist Party. When you see what they're doing by trying to steal our intellectual property.
All right, I'll address his claims that maybe China released COVID on the world intentionally in just a moment. But let's start with the seizing of Chinese assets here in the United States as reparations for COVID-19, whether they did it intentionally or unintentionally. That's not how the law works, Madison. It's shocking how stupid you are. But it's even more shocking how stupid that audience is, because they liked what you had to say. The United States cannot legally just claim all of China's assets here in this country because there's a virus. And do you know why we don't want that to happen, Madison? Because that is going to set a dangerous precedent around the globe for all of the U.S. assets that we have everywhere to be seized by foreign countries as reparations for all of the horrible things we've done for the last 100 years. I don't know if you know this, but we've been involved in multiple international conflicts, really in just the last 50 years, that have wreaked havoc and caused devastation, millions of civilian lives lost because of the U.S. military. Do you really want those countries to take our lead and, seize our assets as reparations for all of that? So maybe just, stop putting that out there in the ether. The other part is, this is not the first time that Madison has actually suggested seizing China's assets. He said the same thing in his speech. It was actually 1 month to the day prior to this speech. So this is the same talking point this kid keeps throwing out. He doesn't know what it means. He doesn't even know how it would work. And of course, he clearly doesn't know that that's really not legal and honestly probably sets a really bad precedent. But Madison Cawthorn wasn't elected to office because of his brains. He was elected to office because he was a demagogue. He went out there, he told people what they wanted to hear, said he would be a fighter, and he goes to Washington, D.C. and does absolutely nothing. Seriously, Madison, if you wanted to get this piece of legislation out there, there's literally nothing stopping you from introducing it now. But you're all talk, no action. So you're just stringing these people along, giving them the same recycled speech time and time again, not coming up with any new talking points whatsoever, but somehow you continue to fail upwards. And how you manage to pull that off is absolutely beyond me. But the other thing that Cawthorn is doing here, aside from, saying that we should illegally seize China's assets, is he's playing on the new Republican fear that China is somehow going to overtake the United States as whatever the hell they think they're going to overtake us as. Ever since Joe Biden came into office, the big talking point has been, Joe Biden's in bed with China. Ted Cruz says it all the time. Madison Cawthorn is attempting to pile onto that and act like China's this big, horrible enemy out there that's killing the United States. And to a degree, maybe there's some truth to that, but it's only because we let them. And I think that's the part that everybody seems to forget about this. We are reliant on China to a significant degree. And it's because we put ourselves in that situation. Does that mean China has any real influence here over the United States? Absolutely not. So it is a little baffling as to why Republicans are choosing this country as their just whipping boy. But it is what it is. Madison Cawthorn has no idea what he's talking about. The U.S. is not going to seize China's assets, and China did not release COVID on the world intentionally. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you want even more Ring of Fire, we encourage everyone to like, comment, share, but most importantly, subscribe, and don't forget, you can find me on all social media outlets at Fair and Balanced.